What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This is the post-game report now for the Flyers versus Penguins. Welcome back here on the Painted Lines. I am Amadeo Grassi. You can follow me on Twitter at Amadeo Gracia98. I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Dibes. You can follow him on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. And we're also joined by our miserable Toronto Maple Leafs fan, Tyson Quibell. You can follow him at Quibell Tyson on Twitter. He is our Flyers beat reporter for the Painted Lines. Guys, we got a 2-0 season to start off for the Flyers right now. They beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2. Travis Konechny gets a hat trick. Carter Hart looks very strong, but there are a lot of concerning things that went on in this game. Sean Couturier leaves early with an undisclosed injury. We'll probably find that out after the game reports. And then also just very sloppy defensively. So many odd man rushes for the Penguins. Just basically an entire back and forth game. The Flyers pull out the victory. They shut it down in the third period, but in the first period, they scored the first 3 goals of the game, but then they allowed Pittsburgh to come right back. Second period was really back and forth sloppiness from both teams, mainly the Flyers, but the third period, they shut it down. Konechny scores his hat trick. Lindblom buries the empty netter, and we're 2-0 to start the season. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this right now. So Tyson, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts on this Flyers victory?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge to go 2-0 against. Obviously, we're just playing in division, but a team like the Penguins that a lot of guys, especially analytically minded, had the Penguins either just above or just below the Flyers. So to get 2 victories very quickly early on in the season against that is huge. Seeing like multiple players have multi-point games as well, like Konechny with a hat trick tonight, Fairby with 4 points the game before. You're seeing what the Flyers are becoming known for, which is this team that are 4 lines deep, where offense is spread out throughout. And I think we're continuing to see that, even seeing Lindblom on the board, seeing Patrick get on the board with an assist there. Like, there's just so many positives to take away in terms of the depth as a whole. And so, yeah, to go up 2-0 on the Pens in a shortened season, it's absolutely huge.
Yeah, Dives, just like, what are your thoughts right now? I know you joined in during the second period when it was really getting sloppy and all that, but just like your thoughts overall on what you were able to witness.
Flyers are a good freaking hockey team, and 2, I need to get my daughter to a game, man. This is killing me. When can we go see a Flyers game? That is like my main takeaway. 11 goals in 2 games. We talked about the depth, which was really kind of the star of game 1. All these guys, like last season, just you never know who it's going to be game to game. Someone will step up. We talked about during the pregame. I wanted to see our main guys step up and look at freaking TK. A hat trick. You see Gritty throw a giant-ass hat onto the ice. It's so great. But like you said, man, this was a game that was sloppy. This was a game that was up and down, super stressful. It was good to see the Flyers kind of control the puck a little bit better there in the third period. Joel Farabee was a -1 on the ice, so I was hoping to see him carry over that 4-point night that he had in the season opener. But, man, Carter Hart just put the Flyers on his back like we saw in the playoffs. Carter Hart, TK really carried us tonight.
I definitely agree with you right there. And just like other things, like what you were talking about, Carter Hart, he had to come up huge today, like specifically when the Flyers were making so many turnovers back and forth. Carter Hart had to make some 10-bell saves, and he stepped up today. We all know with game 1, he made like some of those boo-boos, especially on that one Crosby goal. But Carter Hart, like, definitely stepped up today, insanely stepped up. And Tyson, just going through Carter Hart this season, do you think this is more going to be what Carter Hart is going to be this season? Like, is he going to, I would say, would you expect him to be like more in confrontation with the Vezina conversation this year?
Absolutely. I mean, I think with goalies, it's always a little bit hard to predict. Like, goalies in today's NHL are more volatile, as we've seen. I mean, even prime example, Sergei Bobrovsky. I think he's injured to start the year actually this year, but one season he's in the Vezina conversation. The next season he's like at 898 save percentage. That's been a lot of goaltending in recent memory, but Hart is, as we've seen time and time again, something special, and I think the Flyers are banking on it too, because I mean, like we said, talking about removing Niskanen, talking about removing a top 4 veteran presence. I mean, Flyers are relying on him to probably have between a 915, 917 save percentage at least this season, and I think that he's already showing the ability to carry a team that maybe has, for lack of better words, almost too many offensive-minded defensemen, not enough defensive-minded defensemen at the moment on their roster in their top six. And so, yeah, I mean, I think the Vegas odds were pretty low for Hart in the Vezina. I think they're like 1 for 50. But I would, if I had money, I'd definitely put some money down on that for sure.
Yeah, and just Dives going back to like talking about Carter Hart, like just like how big was he for the Flyers in this game? Because like just how sloppy they were playing and how big he had to come up. Like just your thoughts right there.
You're talking about sending a message. You're talking about sending a message to the division because you saw the Flyers' success against the division. Other than the Islanders, the Flyers were like 15-3 against the division. You're gonna get your division opponents so much. These teams are gonna hate each other by March, April, and you're talking about not playing the Penguins until March. So this is the last time you're going to see the Penguins for a good amount of time, a few months. So it was an amazing opportunity for the Flyers to send a message early on this season. You look at Sidney Crosby's success against the Flyers, is death taxes and Sidney Crosby killing the Flyers over and over and over again. He had a goal, 2 goals in these games, 5 goals against Carter Hart. So 2.5 on his average. You look at last year in 12 games, in 3 games, Carter Hart's now 2-1 against the Penguins historically, 2.4 goals against, 92.9 save percentage. He's right on point. I'm just so impressed with Carter Hart, man. Like we talked about during the season opener, as disappointing and depressing as that loss was in the playoffs at Game 7, the Flyers have a number 1 goalie. To have a guy that goes back-to-back and have a guy like Moose behind him is just – that is one of the biggest reasons. That has to be the biggest reasons why the Philadelphia Flyers can get to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and definitely. Speaking of Brian Elliott, I would expect next week, since the Flyers have a back-to-back against the Buffalo Sabres on Monday and Tuesday, I expect either one of those 2 games is when you're first going to be seeing Brian Elliott in the net for the Flyers right there. And honestly, Chris Dunn just brought up a really good point right there. We're like so used to the Flyers in previous seasons, like when they miss the playoffs, they make the playoffs. They're always off these slow starts. Maybe this is finally the time where the Flyers actually get off to a good start with the season. So that could be something right there. So, guys, I want to let's get into our stars of the game, our top performers. So I'm going to start. It's kind of hard to ignore what Travis Konecny did in this game. Hat trick. It's just like you could do nothing more. Like we said, Farabee had the 4 points in the home opener. Konecny now with the hat trick. I'm going to say Konecny is my standout star for the Flyers today. Dibes, who would you think is the Flyers' top player from today's game?
Oh, man. Why? I'm just going to go with Oscar Lindblom, because we already talked about TK. We already talked about Carter Hart. Give me Oscar Lindblom. The story just continues. This is like the fairy tale story of hockey. He had a goal in the season opener. Here he had 2 points. What did he have? He had 2 shots on net. And a goal. So like Oscar Lindblom, give that man some love.
And Tyson, who would you say would be your standout star for today?
I mean, outside of the obvious, I thought Provorov was pretty good as well. I mean, he had a goal early on, playing as usual, his huge, over 20 minutes a game. Flyers going to continue to rely on him more and more and more as the season progresses. But again, it's just cool to see him like continuing to carry the puck out of the defensive zone with just so much more confidence. I feel like last year was a really good year for him in terms of getting back sort of on that trajectory of potentially being a Norris Trophy candidate at some point down the road. And I think he had a couple moments, where he had some defensive issues, but I think over time we're just seeing him continue to progress, continue to grow, continue to see him have huge amounts of confidence of carrying the puck, and also just dishing passes off quick and just being aware of where opposing forwards are in the offensive zone. I think all those things are moving towards him being, I'm not sure about this year being in the Norris conversation, but again, he's young enough. I think in a few years, if he continues on this progression, which, defensemen having a longer developmental curve, I think we could easily see him be in that conversation at some point in the near future.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you 100% right here. So let's get some plugs in here right now, guys. So Dibes, what do you have any plugs here for people that are in the viewing chat?
Not stuff for Flyers fans. I literally just 2 hours live streamed some nerd content if you're into Wanda. But yeah, no, I have nothing to plug. The storyline is my man Amadeo just crushing these live streams. Please go follow him on Twitter at Amadeo Gracia 98. Please go follow and subscribe my man's YouTube account, TTP Sports. The man crushes it. If you want, anything Flyers knowledge, really Philly sports knowledge, right there, man.
Well, thank you for the plug right there for me. Also, just even for Tyson too, just follow the Florida podcast. We are here with part of the Painted Lines, and just the Painted Lines in general. Comment, like, and subscribe to to our channel. We put out daily content, like Dive said earlier in the live stream, like 2 to 3 live streams a day. And there's so many podcasts on this channel. There's so much content on Philadelphia sports. So definitely give us a check out right there. And Tyson, you have any last minute plugs for yourself right there?
Yeah, Wayne Simmons is a Maple Leaf. He is actually. I want to get a jersey. I'm loving seeing him in a Leafs jersey. I'm sure Flyers fans are. No, I mean, I think Dad's on this. I'm too much of a perfectionist in my writing. I've been working on a prospect project for like 3 months now. Top 20 prospects on all 31 teams, and I finalized it this morning. My numbers and all my calculations, and now I just got to get the articles out. So hoping to do I'm going to do a count up so that people don't think I'm counting copying the Athletic or other people that do the countdowns. They'll start at 31. I'm starting with 1. So hopefully at some point in the next couple weeks we will see 1 through 31 all the way through. So that's it's all written on paper in terms of the numbers, all my whole grading systems. It took me way too long. It took me 3 months, but I think I'm ready to get it rolling in an article.
Awesome stuff right there, Tyson.
One more thing.
Chris.
Coots is injury. We don't know what and how that makes an impact moving forward for the Flyers. I guess he left after 45 seconds on the ice. So that is it. Like as deep as the Flyers are, they can't lose Coots. So that we don't know. We don't know what the story is, right?
Yeah, we don't know anything right now. I'm sure they'll probably like spread something after the game ended, like they're doing their press conferences right now, or we'll probably find out over the upcoming weekend. We're just gonna have to wait about that. So it's gonna be weird if Couture is out for a little bit right now. The Flyers are definitely gonna have to make up for that, but hopefully it's anything just too bad. So Flyers win 5-2. They are 2-0 to start the season off. The Flyers will be off the next 2 days over the weekend, and they'll be playing the Buffalo Sabres on Monday and Tuesday at home. Definitely stick with us here at the Painted Lines. This weekend, we're going to be having literally back-to-back watch parties for both Sixers games this weekend. Definitely tune into those. We'll definitely be having watch parties for the next 2 Flyers games when those happen. Definitely stick with us. Comment, like, and subscribe on this video. Thank you for joining the watch party with us today and seeing the Flyers beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 2 times in a row. 2-0 to start the season. Let's go, everyone, and we will see you next time.